Hi guys, welcome to the Thinking Crypto YouTube channel. I hope you're healthy and doing well. On this channel, we cover the news, facts, and sentiments about the crypto market. We also interview many of the folks who are building and investing in the asset class. I've interviewed CZ, Binance's CEO, as well as many other folks. So if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button. Happy halving day, guys. Today was Bitcoin's third halving, a significant milestone in Bitcoin's whole timeline. We've seen, the halvings over the previous years yield higher prices over time, right? Not immediately, but usually in 1 to 2 years after the halving. And we know the mining reward got cut in half from 12.5 to 6.25, and the amount of Bitcoin being put out in the market has been cut in half from 1,800 to 900. So you're going to have a cut in the supply, and we're seeing the demand has been on the rise. But before we get into the demand, a really interesting note here. So the final Bitcoin block with a subsidy of 12.5 Bitcoin was mined by F2 Pool, and they are a Bitcoin mining pool. I am in contact with them to interview their CEO, by the way, and contained the following message in its Coinbase transaction. New York Times, April 9, 2020, with $2.3 trillion injection, the Fed's plan far exceeds 2008 rescue. And this is really giving kind of an ode to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was created to be a hedge against toxic capitalism, inflation, money printing, and so forth, and the bailouts that we saw in 2008, guys. So pretty significant statement there added to that block. And Bitcoin is still here, and it was birthed out of the 2008 crash, and we will continue to see it rise, and we are seeing the big money get in. We heard news earlier last week that Paul Tudor Jones, billionaire Paul Tudor Jones, has added Bitcoin to his portfolio. Well, he went on CNBC this morning and confirmed it. Said yes, indeed, he's holding 1 to 2% of his portfolio in Bitcoin, and he's worth about $5 billion. He's his company manages about, or his hedge fund, I should say, manages about 20 billion assets under management, possibly higher than that. But these are just like some numbers people, track over time. But nevertheless, guys, this guy is a billionaire. He's very successful. He compared crypto to said it was the fastest horse in the current environment because it's the new asset class. And you are seeing Wall Street and traditional investors getting into crypto. And as mentioned, the halving has yielded higher prices. This is not feelings or emotions. This right here, this chart I'm showing you is facts, it's data. And it is shown that the halving with the supply cut in half has increase the price over time, right? So maybe over the next 1 to 2 years, we will see a higher price of Bitcoin. I personally think we could see a 10x. So we could possibly be between $80,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin. I absolutely believe that if you follow the data and look at what has happened. So that's why I'm not saying it's happening now or next week or 6 months from now. It could be the next 1.5 years, right? The last Bitcoin halving was on July 9th, 2016, and the bull runs or parabolic run up happened in December 2017, so over a year after. So really think about that. You got to look at it from a macro perspective. The weekly and monthly charts don't mean anything to me, honestly. I haven't been in this market since 2016. So of course today we saw a pullback, right? And I tweeted about it. I've been talking about my video. I don't expect anything now because Bitcoin has never did a parabolic shot up at the halving, right? But it does start the bullish momentum, and these swings that are happening on a weekly to daily to monthly don't matter. I'm looking macro level, and I recommend some of you do that. Not financial investment advice, of course, but that's the way you got to look at it, because if you're watching daily candles and weekly, you're just going to get burnt out. So something to keep in mind, guys. Now, some interesting news here. Because of the Bitcoin halving, a lot of channels have been doing live streams. I was on the Anthony Pompliano live stream, the Tone Vase live stream, where there was like 14,000 people in it. And Cointelegraph was doing theirs, and they got shut down by YouTube. YouTube continues to ban channels, and it's crazy, man. This is getting out of hand. That is why I have backup channels on Library and Cinnamon Video, so that you guys can grab my, view my content if my channel ever goes down. But YouTube they're just on some ridiculous trend lately. I don't know what the hell is going on with them. But anyway, moving ahead. Some very big news around Ethereum, guys. ErisX, which is a major player in the crypto derivatives market, providing trading and custody services. We know they're backed by TD Ameritrade, and they said today they're proud to be the first US-based exchange to introduce physically delivered Ethereum futures. The key note here is physically delivered, meaning it's not cash settled. It's actually settled in the Ethereum. And that means they have to have the Ethereum, right? They have to buy it up and have that ready. So that is great news. And that is what we want to see for the market, where it's not cash, but crypto. So once again, this is gonna drive up the demand, right? And the supply is already getting cut, for example, Bitcoin. And Ethereum's demand is going to rise, guys. Why? It is moving to proof of stake. Vitalik says it's going to happen this year. I'm hoping it does. Fingers crossed. I am bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Tezos, and so forth. And there's a lot being built around Ethereum, guys. The DeFi movement is going to be huge. So ErisX, adding it here, guys. This is great news. So today we introduced the first US-based exchange-traded Ether futures contracts. Starting today, individual and keyword institutional investors can access physically delivered futures contracts based on ETH USD with monthly and quarterly expirations. The ErisX Futures Exchange trades alongside the ErisX spot market on a unified and innovative platform, enabling price transparency and collateral efficiencies. I love it, guys. I love the physically delivered part of it. That's what's important, because there's other ETH futures out there, right? But physically delivered is what's going to help drive prices higher. So some news here. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf, who found this. But Ripple's partner Flare Networks will integrate XRP over the next quarter. The Flare network will have a two-way trustless integration with XRP. This will enable smart contracts with XRP on a next generation blockchain with settlement on the XRP ledger. Big news here, guys, and they're calling this launching the Costin test network. But smart contracts, which is what Ethereum and Tezos and those do, will be enabled on the XRP ledger. So this will enable smart contracts with XRP on a next generation blockchain with the settlement on the XRP ledger. Big news here, guys. This is huge, and let's see how the battle for DeFi and smart contracts improve here. And we know facts now. The Ethereum developers and the XRP developers are working together. If you guys remember that news from a few months back, right? Ethereum and XRP developers are working on an XRP Ethereum bridge. So let's see where this goes. I think this is going to be big, guys. I'm excited for this news, and smart contracts, the DeFi movement, like I said, guys, is going to be big. And I diversify. I look for real adoption like this, and making sure these projects are actually updating and moving forward. So really great news here. Finally, it's what we've been talking about and why I built this channel, guys, to share the facts with you, to show you what is happening, following the money. I always tell you guys, follow the money. Watch what the governments are doing. Both are on board with this new asset class, and they're watching it and facilitating its growth. So crypto hedge funds assets under management doubled in 2019 to over $2 billion. New report indicates. Now, when did this happen? 2019. What was going on in 2019? The bear market. Hedge funds. Usually who's involved in hedge funds? Institutional investors, guys. The writing's on the wall. So PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, big well-known firm, they released the information here, and they have nothing to do with crypto. They've existed before the crypto market. So these are trusted sources, right? So total assets under management of crypto hedge funds doubled over $2 billion in 2019, according to a new report by PwC and Elwood Asset Management. Bitcoin was the most traded crypto by hedge funds. Family offices comprise 48% of the investors. I'm telling you guys, they're coming for the crypto. They're coming for the Bitcoin. That's why we got to be patient and just accumulate and hodl, right? Not financial advice. That's what I'm doing. If you guys recall, I interviewed Jason Williams of Morgan Creek Digital. And if you haven't seen that interview, definitely check it out, because he talks about endowments, pensions, family offices are investing in Morgan Creek's crypto fund. And it's part of the part of the fund is for the tokens themselves, the cryptos like Bitcoin, and part of it is for the companies that are building the infrastructure. So the money's coming in, and it's happening, during the bear market, and the current economic climate is still happening, guys. So Henry Arcelian, if I'm saying that right, global crypto leader at PwC, told the block, "I expect the crypto hedge fund industry to grow significantly over the coming years." I think I will just end it on that. Chew on that, guys. Think about it. These, like I said, PwC, nothing to do with crypto, existed before crypto. They have added a crypto division because this asset class is on the rise, and they're pulling the data, the analytics, the trends, and look at what's happening, guys. Pretty significant. So what do you think? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you all later.